Welcome to Starship TV, the U.S. Constitution as a framework beyond Earth. As humanity ventures beyond Earth into the vast expanse of space, the challenge of governance becomes paramount. The principles of the United States Constitution, particularly its protection of individual liberty, property rights, and self-governance, offer a compelling foundation for civil society and economic development among the stars. At the heart of this potential is the concept of self-determination through free enterprise, rooted in the values of American capitalism and the constitutional framework that sustains it. Self-determination, a universal principle. The U.S. Constitution recognizes that all individuals are endowed with inherent rights. Chief among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These rights form the foundation of self-determination, the ability of individuals and communities to choose their own paths without undue interference. In space, where pioneers and settlers may find themselves distant from centralized authority, the power to self-govern becomes not just a preference, but a necessity. The U.S. model of representative government, local sovereignty, and legal protection for individual rights provides a tested structure that can be adapted for space colonies, research outposts, and commercial settlements. Free enterprise, capitalism among the stars. Economic freedom is a powerful engine of innovation and growth. The Constitution does not explicitly mention capitalism, but it provides the legal infrastructure that allows it to flourish, the protection of contracts, private property, and commerce across state, and potentially interplanetary lines. In the vacuum of space, scarcity of resources and harsh conditions demand efficiency, innovation, and bold investment. These are precisely the conditions in which free enterprise thrives. American-style capitalism, supported by a rule of law system grounded in constitutional protections, can provide the dynamic economic base necessary for space expansion. Some ways this could manifest in space include privately funded exploration and mining ventures, secured through constitutional protections for private property and due process, independent colonies or habitats that develop economic relationships through voluntary trade and mutual cooperation, innovation hubs supported by entrepreneurial freedom and minimal governmental intrusion, modeled after the U.S. system of open markets and limited regulation. Constitutional governance in space, a living charter. The U.S. Constitution is adaptable. Its structure allows for amendments, its powers are divided to prevent tyranny, and it empowers the people through elected representation. These features make it uniquely suited to guide governance in extraterrestrial environments, where flexibility and protection from despotism are vital. Key constitutional principles applicable in space include checks and balances, prevents the rise of authoritarian control over colonies or enterprises. Federalism allows for varying levels of governance, from central authority to autonomous local decision-making. The Bill of Rights protects freedom of speech, religion, and property, ensuring the dignity and autonomy of spacefaring individuals. The American ideal in the cosmic frontier. The American experiment, built on liberty, innovation, and enterprise, offers a scalable model for interplanetary civilization. Its constitutional framework honors both the rights of the individual and the potential of cooperative order. As we expand outward, this structure can provide a peaceful, prosperous, and just system of governance. Key to this vision is the freedom to build, trade, innovate, and live according to one's values. Not through the coercion of centralized global or planetary bureaucracies, but through the voluntary association and mutual respect encoded in constitutional law. The Constitution as humanity's charter for space. The U.S. Constitution, though created initially for a terrestrial nation, holds the ideals and legal foundations necessary to govern an interplanetary future. Through self-determination, protected individual rights, and capitalist enterprise, it can guide humanity's ascent into space not as conquerors, but as free people building new civilizations. As we chart a course through the stars, the Constitution can serve as a beacon of liberty, offering order without oppression and freedom with responsibility. It is not merely a document of Earth's past. It may be the blueprint for the universe's future. Competing models of governance and prosperity in space. In the modern world, two major approaches to national organization and economic management have emerged: the free enterprise system supported by small government, and the welfare state guided by large bureaucratic government. Each seeks to address the needs of society, but they do so by different means and with vastly different consequences. This report argues that the pursuit of free enterprise and limited government leads to greater prosperity, freedom, innovation, and individual dignity than the centralized planning and redistribution model offered by the welfare state. Free enterprise and small government, a proven path to prosperity. Free enterprise is the economic system in which individuals have the liberty to start businesses, trade, invest, and innovate without excessive interference. Small government refers to a political framework in which the powers of the state are restricted primarily to essential functions, defending rights, enforcing laws, and protecting borders. Core advantages: economic growth through innovation. History shows that the most prosperous and technologically advanced societies are those that encourage risk-taking and reward innovation. With minimal regulation and low taxes, entrepreneurs are free to create new products, services, and industries. Personal responsibility and dignity. When individuals earn their livelihood through their own efforts, they gain a sense of ownership and self-worth. Free enterprise cultivates responsibility, discipline, and initiative. Efficient use of resources. In a free market, competition drives efficiency. Businesses that waste resources or provide poor service fail, while successful ones thrive without the need for central planners. Checks on government power. A limited government is less likely to become tyrannical. The more functions a government takes on, education, health, housing, food, the more it can control the people. Small government maintains freedom by staying out of citizens' lives as much as possible. Local solutions over central control. Decentralized governance allows communities to solve their own problems. Solutions are tailored to local needs rather than imposed by distant bureaucrats. The welfare state, a system of dependence and control. The welfare state seeks to provide cradle-to-grave care through state-funded programs such as universal health care, unemployment benefits, housing assistance, and government pensions. It is managed by a large bureaucracy, which administers these services through complex regulations, taxes, and enforcement mechanisms. Key problems. Disincentivizes work and productivity. When benefits are guaranteed regardless of effort, motivation to work and excel diminishes. Generational dependency can set in, weakening the social fabric. High taxes and debt. Large bureaucratic governments require vast funding. This leads to heavy taxation, national debt, and economic stagnation as private wealth is siphoned into inefficient programs. Bureaucratic inefficiency. Government agencies are not subject to market competition. Without incentives to improve, they become bloated, slow, and unresponsive to real needs. Loss of individual freedom. With every benefit comes regulation. Welfare states often dictate how citizens live, what healthcare they can receive, and what businesses must do. Control expands as government grows. Moral hazard. In a system where the state is responsible for all outcomes, personal choices become irrelevant. This erodes accountability and leads to reckless or indifferent behavior. Historical evidence and comparisons. United States pre- and post-expansion of government programs. During the early 20th century, when government was smaller and the economy more open, America saw unmatched growth and innovation. In later decades, as welfare programs expanded, growth slowed and national debt skyrocketed. East versus West Germany. West Germany, with a market-based system and limited welfare, outperformed communist East Germany in every measure: economic, cultural, and scientific. Singapore versus socialist economies. Singapore rose from poverty to prosperity through free enterprise and limited government, in contrast to nations with state-managed economies that remained stagnant. Why free enterprise and small government win? Freedom to choose. Individuals, not bureaucrats, decide what they need and how to pursue it. Dynamic and flexible, small government systems adapt faster to change, driven by private innovation. Moral and ethical, hard work is rewarded, and individuals are responsible for their own futures. Long-term stability, free markets, and limited state power create sustainable societies without the crushing burdens of entitlement programs and central planning. The better way forward. While the welfare state may promise security and equality, it often delivers dependency and stagnation. By contrast, the pursuit of free enterprise and limited government unleashes human potential, safeguards liberty, and creates the conditions for genuine prosperity and dignity. In every age, freedom and initiative have proven superior to control and redistribution. A society that values work, rewards risk, and keeps government small, is a society prepared not only to survive, but to thrive. You're watching Starship TV. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this content. Also, please share to help